There you go. So before we start, we will do some kind of preparation. Like it's like how we do psychic surgeries. And let me think on how do I explain this. We normally, on ICU, right? We create a bubble, a safe space, then we operate there. So we will be establishing the same thing, and we will be doing some work, which is for the highest good of everyone. And I will explain through the process. And if you consent, just say yes, only for the highest best good of all. So to start, we will be creating a session bubble. It's like a barrier that keeps everything outside from affecting us with our thinking and everything. Session bubble on. Now I will clear everything in your mental state, emotional state, and everything that's in there stuck that will prevent you from getting the image clear. Done. Now I will try to connect with your third eye and download the images that I have, that I've been channeling from my, not really channeling, but that I'm getting from my higher selves. And if you consent, just look into my eye, like 5 seconds, and just say connect, like Katie says. So yeah.
Connect.
Done.
Ooh, I felt that.
Let me turn off your mental noise. 0%. Keeps out the monkey mind from chattering and saying unnecessary stuff that will prevent you from learning. So with that out of the way, we will have more later on, probably by the end of this video or this session, we will have more. And I hope you don't get too bad of a ascension sickness. I will try to minimize it. So thank you for having me. Oh, there you go. Hi, what's up?
Lawrence, can you tell everyone a little bit more about yourself and your journey so they know how magical you are as I do?
Oh no. Okay. Where do I start? There's too many. Where do like so I am the representative of Angelus Regalia Collective. It's an angelic realm collective in Parelia, Sun. You can just tap into it. It's there. And I am also a member of the Galactic Federation. They come with many names, but it's all Galactic Federation. Like Katie as well, she's also a member, and I'm not supposed to say my designation. Okay, you just stopped me. I was about to say. Okay, so that's the gist of the start. But let me see. I just awakened like April 15. It's more like a part NDE in a sense that if I agreed to it, it's like a long story. If I agreed to it, I'll be dead right now. So that's my summary of it. But ever since I got awoken up, they told me that spiritual journey is like it's not a race. It can be, you can be waking up right now and they can compress all your lessons into, it's hard. They compress it, it's hard. I'm telling you. If you get woken up like 30 years ago, then you probably have a trickling lessons and you're kind of like, it's fine, everything's fine. But if you wake up just right now and they're accelerating you, your lessons like, today is a different lesson, tomorrow it's a different lesson, and you're like, roller coaster. Like something like that. It's fun. You learn a lot of stuff. It's exciting, but at the start, when you start seeing those big stuff, the biggest fears, traumas, and everything, then you're like, it's all painful. But like I always say, everything is like a renovation, right? So like if you keep on seeing the chaos, you won't see past the breaking of the old so that the new have a space to come in. So you have to pay attention of looking beyond the chaos, because it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So that's the small teeny bit about myself, but I hope it summarize it. So there's more out of there, but I will burn the time, the 1 hour, if we continue, keep on doing it. So thank you for having me here as well, to Katie and to Amber for allowing me to host this event, and for Katie for also assisting and
Assisting.
hey, helping, assisting, co-hosting, and the cover of what we will be covering in today's sessions, like what are the timelines, the dimensions, why is it important, how to navigate them, symptoms on timeline jumping, and when ways we can do to start navigating to our highest best timeline. So let's excuse me. So let's start. So imagine a crystal. Oh, I don't have a crystal on hand. A clear crystal and a light, pure light, hit it. And the prism of the light spreads out. And imagining your color red. So it's more broader than this, but it's just a starter before I twist your brain all harder. So the light spreads, and imagine your color red. So your color red, and your life in this right now is color red. But the you, the white light that came in through that crystal, that's the real you. But this is just a prism or a fragment, a fractal of your light, real light. So the other lights is another dimension, timeline, and everything. It spreads out, right? So what you are envisioning right now in this lifetime, in this now, your awareness right now is just in that one color. And when you start integrating back to the light, to the source, to the white light, you will start accessing the other light, the other colors. So when you access all of those, you gain their abundance, their knowledge, their wisdom, and everything. And you access them and you pull them all to this color. And that's the first analogy of how lights are spread out. But let us put it in another perspective. Like let's explain what is a timeline. So who does experience a TV where you can just switch like this, like the old style? So imagine yourself holding that dial, and it's like CD player or TV, that everything is happening right now. All of your lives, all your timelines are happening right now. And the only difference is that your awareness is residing on this timeline. Let's say you're in channel 3. If I switch down to channel 1, you may see the, what do you call this, apocalyptic timeline, where Ukraine start shooting on the wars, nuclear and everything. How I know? Because I absorbed some of myself there, and I've seen that lifetime, and I was running from the tanks, I was running from earthquakes, I was running 18 invasions and whatever. I've seen it, and I died to some, so I knew. And what they call this? So when you jump timelines, you start going up the channel. Let's say you're in timeline 3 right now, and everything is neutral. You're not below, you're not up. But when you start jumping timelines, you click up. Let's say you go to timeline 4. But the difference with that one, when you start going up, with this time that we have right now, is that you pull all the you from 1, 2, 3 all the way to 4 as you merge to 4. It's like the prism of light. Now you're combining multiple colors into this one timeline. Let me just rephrase that one if that's still confusing. It's a little bit confusing. Any questions so far?
Not for me, but well, actually, I do have a non-related question. You know how it is with me, Lawrence. There might be some things that pop in, and if they do, you know, how should I put you? Things just come in randomly.
Okay.
So, you know, because they're just saying, okay, we don't want to interrupt Lawrence, so we're gonna pop in and talk to Katie, and then she can let Lawrence know we want to chime in or, you know, assist. I'm like, of course you're telling me that. So I'll just
I will have questions, but not
Oh.
right now. But I will have questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ruthie.
So then I'll just raise my hand and like we agreed, okay?
Sure.
But actually, you know, now I'm thinking about I do have a question. When we timeline jump, does that change anything about us in our DNA structure, you know, or energies, frequencies? I mean, do we inherit it of that timeline, or does everything stay intact?
The thing is that when you improve, or you jump timeline by just improving one cell, and you don't feel it. But when you improve or you have a change of mentality, it's part of the lower part section, but it's when you change a part of yourself that improve big time, you jump big time, that's where you feel the vibrations and everything. Oh, there you go.
There's a question. Katy Perry asks, hi guys, you said higher selves as in more than one. Who do you consider as the higher selves?
Let's continue with the next section of the timeline, and I may be able to answer that. So timelines, I already answered. It's like different channels of a TV, right? Now, what is a dimension? Imagine you have 1D, 2D, 3D, and everything. Imagine yourself as 1D as a rock, a 2D as a cell, and a 3D is what you have right now. 4D if you're like etheric self. 5D is your galactic higher self. 6D is your angelic self. You see, as you go across multiple dimensions, there's a you in different vibration, different you in per dimension. So even that dimension, you have alternate timelines. So you have dimension going up, timelines alternate going like this. So by that term, they say higher self is just saying that higher in dimension. When they say lower self, it's like lower in dimension, but that not necessarily mean the higher you go, the better you go, but it's just they are more highly vibrational. I will talk about that high vibration in the telepathic part of this section, but that's more of the analogy. Like the more there are dimensions where you are like a demon or a mantis galactic, but demon is such a labeling term in my sense, because what if you see a Lyran, a Black Panther Lyran, you will say demon, cat demon. But what if you see a galactic mantis who have an IQ of 700, but they look different? So what you will label it? Demon, monsters. You see what I mean with how this programming is affecting your mentality, but because of what we say, it's dark, demon and everything, or black stuff, it doesn't mean they're harmful or anything, right? Like Katie said on the previous session, that it's becoming, they are just dark entities, doesn't mean they're harmful. And sometimes it's just part of their duties or how they were initially designed, but we are now have the power to change them. We are gods in our skin, in our vessels, And so we have our own, what do you call this? We have our own jurisdiction to play in this grand play. And I'm fortunate that I meet Katie, and I got a lot of teaching from her, and it expanded. And what I'm teaching right now is an expansion off of it as well. So I'm
Well, I
thankful
learned from
for
you
that.
too.
Yeah, there you go. So so who so of course everyone wanted a higher or deep connection with their higher selves, but we will have another, probably, I think Katie already covered that lesson on how to create your connection. And let me now explain past, present, and future, which is another, and I hope you can still follow with the timelines dimension, then other past, present, and future. So imagine if you are an astral walker like me or a dream walker, you notice that the time on the other side on 4D, higher, or whichever grade you can access, is not linear. Like split second, like they can be your whole lifetime. Same thing with souls. When they die, our whole lifetime here is just a split second, technically. So sometimes they said, when your parent died, did they reincarnate? Probably, but time there is different here than here. So when you sleep, imagine this: when you sleep, like a game, you save a certain point of your life into this body, into this vessel, into your brain or into your DNA. It's saved this timeline where you left off. Then you go somewhere else. Then you logged on to that another color that I told you about, the white prison. You're in blue right now. Now you log into red. Now, when you log into that, you play the part, time here is stopped. You're doing that one, you're learning your stuff there. Then it's time for you to go back, because you choose on your awakening, you choose which is your primary lifetime. So it's either this one, your present now, or you're living in the future or in the past, to whichever you choose to, what do you call this, to learn. So your awareness now logs off of that and logs in to this lifetime. Now, why dreams go away very quickly? Because once you log into here, your brain, your DNA starts loading up the presets. It's like loading everything that you save so that you will function in this reality or in this timeline, so that you will continue this one. It's like a save point. When you wake up, you load up. So imagine this: you slept, deep sleep. Someone abruptly wake you up. What happens? You get a headache. And when that happens, you get a headache, is that a surge of information drops on your head, like that. And normally you're like groggy when you wake up, but this one, it just like that, it popped in your head, and you're having a headache because of the flux of information, and you couldn't even remember your dream. That's what's happening technically when you wake up. So, oh, there you go. Hi.
Have two time travelers, celestial time travelers, that want to channel to you. They want me to ask if you plan to do an activation for the time crystal for them and demonstrate how to use it. If you are, and you don't have to, they would like to assist in that demonstration.
Let me ask my time crystal.
It's up to you. I've never met time travelers.
I can put it in the temporary skill at the end of the video.
Okay.
Yep, I'll include it in the laundry list.
I know.
So yeah, so time ascension codes, right? Yep. So yeah, I'll include it. And mental note, I'll just write it down as well, just so that I don't miss the mental note. So where do we left off? So now, so you log in, log out. Why we need to so it's happening at the same time because everything is like pause, play, pause, play, pause, play. And when that happens, why they say keep on focusing on the present, because when you see duality, past is always considered as negative and the future is positive. And when you play out, you go ultra present. You savor everything in this experience and it ripples to your future. It may not ripple back to your past. The past maybe you can fix through your trauma and everything, but everything you do right now ripples to your future. So that's why they always say, be present, because when you start focusing on the present and focusing, appreciating everything in the present, it ripples back to the future. And I've seen this many times. If you tweak it into a higher self motive, every decision that I created to improve myself, I have seen my higher selves evolve per se. If you can see your higher self, then you will see them evolve. Like suddenly your angel becomes seraphim, then they become God, whatever. They evolve. So everything that you do in the now ripples in the future. So that's why when I keep on saying, don't keep on thinking about the problems of the past, because it anchors you to that past. And once you anchor to that one, it's like, she always do this. She always do that. You hold on to that emotion. And when you hold on to that emotion, you anchor to that timeline and you couldn't jump. You get it? So when you anchor to that emotion and you won't release it, you won't be able to jump timeline, because in the next timeline, channel 4, that person might be a different person. Quick example of a timeline. Friday, I was like getting nagged by my boss, like, why did you do this? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, I did my best, but it still failed. I couldn't catch up with the deadline. Monday comes, I need to go to work, to the office, to like to face them. I was like, should I just skip the work? I'll just work from home. I'm scared. Sketchy. So I'm getting scared. But I'll teach you this analogy later, but that's a cliff. My ego says, don't go to work. Don't go to the office, just work from home. That is his focus, one thing. But 99 other chances will maybe the train broke, you couldn't go, or the manager is sick, he couldn't nag you, something like that. But when I said, I'm gonna go there, screw this, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna face my fear and I'm gonna go there. I went there. You know what he said? Oh, are you okay? How are you? Our project is getting delayed. Do you think so? What's happening? So it's like what? What's happening here? It's like we're delayed. Everyone's department is getting. So that is one point of a timeline shift that when let me think if I should be discussing this one. Okay, we can just skip, we can just continue this one, then I'll continue to the next topic. So when you timeline shift or jump, the people, oh, okay.
Oh, if you want to finish that sentence, then you can get
It's
back
long.
to
It's
okay.
long.
You were mentioning your higher selves, our higher selves evolving. And for those who might be able to see the visions, could you maybe, send us visions like a before higher self and then an evolved higher self? Are you able to channel that to us so we can see
Mhm.
the difference?
So let's see. Focus on my third eye.
Okay.
And if you connect, I'll send my primary higher selves and my angelic higher selves so that you will see them through the evolution. Give me 5 seconds.
By the way, everyone, while he's gone, part of our third eye gifts is we are able to share some, like, I guess it's part of your telepathy. You're able to share visions, share, what you see and what you sense through your third eye and your telepathy. So that's why I asked. I thought it'd be something cool to try.
If you connect with my third eye, say connect, then I'll send you the images from their stories of which higher self you want to pick. I have my primary higher self, my seraphim, or the dragon, or the nymph priestess. So I will project you all the images on how they were before my awakening and right now.
Whoa. I see all of them.
There you
The
go.
prominent one standing in the front.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference. And I could feel the difference in the vibration energy too.
So
It's so magical, Lauren.
so so they're like yeah, they evolve. So what you do right now, it affects the other you, even yourself right now. So let's see. So one thing that I forgot what I was about to say a while ago.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So let's just continue with the topic. So imagine this. Why each iteration is very important. If any one of you watch the movie The One by Jet Li, 2001, I guess. The One, Jet Li. In that movie, he keep on going to alternate timelines. But instead of absorbing them, he kills them. Why? To absorb all their powers. And every time he killed one, the Jet Li on that timeline disperse and the energy goes to his other selves until there's only two, black and white, the one who want to kill, the one who want to defend. If you know the story, they killed each other way too much that they end up with two. Soul integration is the same thing, but in this time, you're reconnecting to your other selves. And when you reconnect with them, you will you will see their traumas and everything. And once you heal all of them, all of yourselves, all of your higher selves as well, then they will have their own luck, their own abundance, and you will get access to everything. And when you reconnect to everything like a web with you in the middle as the spider, and when you connect there, you can accumulate it in a single point. And that single point is you. So why it's important? Because you get access to multiple skills, abundance multipliers, prosperities, your psychic abilities expansion, everything. Some of them may be a millionaire. Some of them are king. You need charismatic lessons. Pull down the higher self. Download me your information. I need to rule these people or my organization. They give you that idea and everything. Or I need to seek guidance. Then they will teach you, you should learn this, 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 this. And
Long list.
yes, laundry list. Depends on what you like right now. So why this timeline is very important compared to the other lifetimes? Because now with Earth, Gaia ascending, it enabled us to compress multiple lifetimes of lesson. into one. So imagine you should learn this lifetime that I may have to die for something, for self-sacrifice. I may have to die something. So I've seen there's one time that I absorbed one lifetime that he died. He died for a friend and he was smiling. And it's like, screw you guys. I did my best and yep, I'm gonna go back. And he throw me something like I need for that friend. So it's like he was willing full to keep his contract to die for that friend, but not killing us. But normally, if you are in your solitary lifetime, you have to experience it now. So technically, you will die now and this lifetime, go to another planet or another time to continue your other lessons. But right now, it's a big opportunity. That's why there's a huge lineup in the Federation that they say, I want to go into this lifetime because you can compress all your lessons in one lifetime and enjoy at the end. You get it? Oh,
Now, how does that relate to us and karma and clearing our karma? Like, are we clearing out other versions of ourselves karma or past ourselves karma as well? Is our karma all being, interconnected and being cleared at the same time, or balanced out as we go? How does that work? Does that make sense?
Yep. I'll tell you something that I say when I do Akashic Records, when they say, what is my life purpose? It changed because of this mentality. Your life purpose might be just as small as showing up to that thing there, and you distract someone, and when he got distracted, he avoided his fatal crash. That small thing. And it could be multiple bigger ones. It doesn't have to be a grand end of the day, I'm the leader, done. No, it's multiple. Now, on the topic of multiple karmas, when you now, because I'm talking about this, it will now happen to you. So good luck. So, so now you're just facing one karma and you're stuck with it, right? One trauma, one lifetime. You're focused in the life right now. Now, I open this to you because you are now ready. So when you start fixing this current karma on this lifetime, your next lessons or cycles that you will be fixing might be a karma from another life, or a karma that will be using another lifetime for you to fix. But since you're compressed in now time, they will give it to you and you will learn it right off the hop, probably in a week, in a day, in a month, how fast you can cope up with the lesson. Because like I said, you are here in a school earth. So now instead of attending one class and graduating from it, you are now in a compressed class that the next lesson is just right the next door. So I hope I answered your question properly.
Absolutely. And I probably even asked it wrong too, but you know me. But I noticed, so Rusty is in the Zoom chat and she said her head is vibrating. I'm curious if you're doing something automatically to her, why it's vibrating.
Vibration. I'm gonna tell you one thing about timeline jumping. I said before, right? When you timeline jump, you sometimes, when you have a major jump, you vibrate very hardly. And one of the key things that makes you jump timeline on a major one is talking to someone who jumps timeline. And when there's tell you about the perspective out of it on how to navigate it, you start vibrating like crazy because your body shifts vibration and now it's trying to cope up with your thoughts. Let's say, because everything around you is created by your thoughts, right? Thoughts, beliefs, words, and everything. But when you start understanding that there is more to it, your perception shifts. And when your perception shifts, you vibrate out of this timeline. It may not happen immediately. You may probably go to work away from this lifetime and go back. And then suddenly everything change. Or you sleep. When you wake up, everything change. So something like that. It doesn't like, oh, I'm feeling vibration. Probably my husband changed already. No, it's not something like that. Because sometimes when you go jump timelines, they still have memories of what happened in the lower timelines, because it's like a disconnect, right? But their attitudes and views change, like a different person. Like one story, before I have multiple houses, right? When I'm fixing my other house, and my neighbors there always say, oh, how's the construction? We always talk about construction, renovating and everything. Oh, I like your job and everything, right? There was a test in my life that they said, you have to step out and be proud that you're a light worker. So post this thing that you have in your Facebook in public. You know, the fears come, what will my friends say? What will my co-workers say? I may lose people. They will say I'm nuts, right? That's the first thing that will hold you back. What will they say? But they said they're not paying your mortgage. They're kind of blunt for me. They're not paying your mortgage. So they have said, share. That's how scared I was. But now it's like, oh my God, I hope it doesn't. So when I started getting used to sharing publicly, I started not caring what other people think. I only care who I can serve, who I can help with what I share, and I focus on that. If it doesn't resonate to some, they're not giving me food to eat and everything, then there you go.
I agree. Lisa asked, is this deja vu?
Part of it. Deja vu is technically something like you blip into like something like, sometimes when it's immediate, you see like you're back in this reality, but you've seen it, meaning you're from the future, but you learned the lesson now. Now you went back to this point, because now your future self may be a different one who wasn't exposed to this lecture, but now this you became the highest, best timeline. Your awareness now shift to this guy and pull that guy in from the future. Now you're here. I was like, this feels weird. I know this, but it's weird. So
I think that's what's happening to Rusty, because her head was vibrating and we're in the chat in Zoom, and I was like, are you timeline jumping right now? And she's like, yes. I'm like, stop being so powerful. So I think that's what happened to her just now, what you had just explained.
So as Rusty said, she lost like years, right? But for me, it's like 1 year. I'm not sure. I think Lisa did lost some years, days as well. But for me, when that happened, it's like, I was like doing my work and I saw that the year 2023, I was like, no way, 2023, this should be 2024. Why am I here? That's my question. Why am I here? So the lesson that I got is 1 year earlier than it should be. So my future self, who was supposed to be in the higher timeline, shifted again into this timeline, and I pulled that guy in. And that's why, and as he merges and everything, now you accumulate what he achieved, and you already did it in this timeline. So technically you're aligning more on that timeline per se. But how do I explain
Leveling
this? Yep, technically you're leveling up. So I think I already explained soul integration. So soul integration is more like connecting to your other you and accessing them, but your awareness is still on this one. But when you ask for your guides or your higher selves that I want I want to go to my highest best timeline. You don't have to. It's the hardest part. I'm telling you, it's the hardest part because it's all compressed, more compressed, and it's hardest part, but it's more the most productive part. So if you're a masochist, then well, jump to the ride, jump to the train. But that is the most highest best timeline, is where it's everything is more compressed, more you are merging into you. Soul integration is more on connecting to other yous. Soul integration is not soul retrieval, because soul retrieval is more like collecting pieces of you back to yourself that you lost because of trauma. But you should have done your soul retrieval first before you do soul integration.
And they
There's
can be
methods.
stolen.
Yeah, there
way.
you go. Your fragments can be stolen as well. So why soul integration is important? Like I was gonna say, because some of them have that, why, like Katie said before, that you need to heal your or karmic lessons on the other self, because some of them have ancestor who put binds on them, or ancestors that are like, I hate this guy, so I'm gonna put some curse on you. So when they do that, they sometimes put binds on your luck, on your abundance, because they envy you. Let me correct this one so that the misconception is not muddled. Ancestors can be, your ancestors as a guide are ascended ancestors. Now, there are lower ancestors out there that are envious of you right now, because you're in this timeline that you can now navigate and change your future. And when you change your future, that means that you can now change your fate. You can change your lectures. You can change your lesson. You can change your karmic lessons. Not change, but overcome them, move on. And when you're feeling like, I'm done with my lessons, I can compress right now, then I want to go to my vacation lifetime. Then that's when you enjoy this lifetime. But for you to be able to dictate that, you have to access higher dimensions, higher timelines, higher planes, codes, and everything. And when you start accessing those, the faster you manifest. Why it's hard to manifest, or why is it hard to deal with manifestation in 3D? Because your light quotient is way too low. Your vibration is too low. You're still holding the baggages and everything in with this one timeline. You're still holding everything, emotion, trauma, everything, lessons, people in this timeline. And this will be a weird lesson. One day, my youngest son have a entity. It's not, he went for a gray area that I couldn't. He's not good, he's not bad. So at that time, I only classify entities as good and bad, dark and evil. It was a start of my awakening. And when that happened, this entity just showed himself to my son, and he goes scared. Even I close his eyes, he can see it. So I know my son's third eye is on. Then I said, should I shut down? I told my wife, should I shut down his third eye for now until he's ready? Then my guy said, nope, can't do that. Under 18-year-old can do that. Free will. Then he's not be able to reason yet. Then so I was like, how do I do it? I started casting all sorts of protection to my family. Went away. Then what my guide said is that you're protecting your family in this timeline, holding them very hard, protecting them. By doing that, you're anchoring yourself in this timeline, in this them. And you have to respect their soul contract in this timeline. This timeline, get it? And if their soul contract in this timeline is to fight you, their soul contract on another timeline may be to love you. So I started undoing every protection I have. And my son started seeing it again. He was crying. He was in the bed with me. I'm crying. I covered his eyes. Can't. I tried to throw every spell I can do to what do you call this? For evil, purging and everything. It doesn't work. He doesn't classify to that thing. And that's how I discovered none, only for the highest good entity, meaning it sits on the gray area, but it's not part of the harmful part and everything. Because normally I just say, if you're harmful, evil, bad, I'm gonna banish you or something, or gonna purify you. But this one is neutral, but it's like a trickster. That's what I'm about to say. Trickster is in a gray area.
Yep.
And when they play with the gray area, you couldn't do anything about them because they're in the gray area. If you say harmful bad, they're not doing harmful bad. They're just pushing it enough for you to trigger it. Like they're pushing you the pencil, but you're the one who's grabbing it and doing all the sorts of stuff, technically. So because you're overthinking it. But when I discovered how to do them, I said, oh, so I can cover you with this classification. At that time, I just learned about, throwing them where they need to be. So I grab them, put them in their portal where they need to be, and shut down everything access that they have. But that is just not the best treatment at that time, but that is the best solution I have for that time, because that skill expanded to something else right now, and it's more good for everyone involved. And I call that. Oh, there you go.
I like to add, of course, all of you will have your different methods of phrasing things, the words that you use, but similar to how Lawrence targets things like the tricksters, I particularly, for me, I like to say, just so it covers everything that's in the spectrum. So I would say I call forward all energies and or frequencies that are not of the highest vibration and or not here for the highest and best good of all. Because I found that there are things that are of the highest vibration, but may not have the highest best good intentions of all. And vice versa, they'd be low vibrational energy, but they do have the highest and best good intentions of all. And so you got the and or, I emphasize that. So you can include everything. And I say energies because, not everything is a being, a soul. We have curses, spells, hexes. By saying energies, that's covered under that umbrella. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just reading Lisa's message. It's a light language I had once when I was driving. I could never access it again until you activated us. Now it comes when time is shifting or we are experiencing time loss or bodies need help shifting.
That's beautiful.
So actually, one part of that is that when you started ascending, you can control time. Sometimes your day where you're like, I have to do this, time accelerates. But when you're in a hurry and you're like, I don't want to be late, time slows down, even to the second, to the minute. 5:55 on the clock. Yep, change is coming. Changes for everyone. And yeah, you can control time. Just don't burn your contracts with time because Gaia won't allow it. I tried. So I don't recommend it. So you'll get nagged on by the guides. So the symptoms of timeline jumping or accessing time selves is like what you said, loss of time or dream of other lifetimes. Or they can give you a vision. Like I said, I already saw where Canada is like being like there's US tanks in here and Russian tanks in here and we're running. So I've seen that timeline. Oh, Katie?
Rusty has a question. Light language, when you just speak it out of the blue, like anytime, why do people do that? Is that time jumping?
Um, you have better answers? Oh, sorry, I'm talking to my guy. Sorry, because
I know.
because
That's why I signed, so I'm not confusing
because
the audience.
if you see me look here or look there or suddenly talk to someone there, it's me talking to some other me. But what I do is what you call full body embodiment or channeling. Technically, I am my higher selves per se. So I'm sometimes I got the thought, but sometimes when two people or two higher selves speak at the same time, they have conflicting. So do you have better ideas? So I sometimes it comes into my mouth and not from my thoughts. So now I lost it.
Because she's asking, like, when we speak light
Oh,
language
okay.
out of the blue or randomly, is that timeline jumping?
So this is from the Seraphim higher self. He said, when you speak light language, you are anchoring more of that energy into your reality, into this earth, into this plane. The more you speak it, like when you go on a walk while grounding, when you sing with your light language, you don't have to speak it to someone else, but you're anchoring that energies to the now. And it expands your now. And you may timeline jump because of that. And you may discover new light language because of that. And sometimes you don't have to channel it. You can just intend it. There's a point when you start saying, I want to channel light language for healing. Then you're like, meditate. Then you're like, started automatic speaking, writing, or drawing, and everything. All forms of light language. As you go into deep into it, you can just suddenly intend, speak directly, like how Katie just like sign with her hands like that very quickly without even saying it or saying it at the same times, like which is magical still for me. I couldn't do that. So when I see this, like wow, it's just like weaving energies in her hand. Some people can see energies as they weave it. If you see this clear, some people may see magic circles that I put in place in that one. And
So it's like depends on your intention, right?
mhm.
And how you communicate the light language, right? And basically just general communication.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But one thing I should mention, light language is a language. It's a language of soul, although it's a form of light. Everyone have free will. And so some inject something into it. Just a caution when you're accepting light language to everyone who's navigating this one. Just a caution to just say, if this light language is what it seems to really is to be, then I accept it only for the highest best good of all. Because some people will just say yes and accept it. That's a bypass of free will. That's what they're telling, okay, telling you right now that that's a law of free will, that if you just say yes to everything, it's like, can I shoot you? Yes, shoot you. Get it? So even though I'm not intending to kill you, but if I shoot you, I'm just saying I'm shooting you. I'm not killing you per se. So just a point of view, because we are now transcending, and some may not be able to handle it and start abusing the system. And I've been sent to missions to subdue or tone down those star seeds that vary in other parts. I think I told Katie one of it before, and it was one of my Galactic Federation missions, so that to tone down one star seed who went full blown. Anyway, I'm not allowed to speak more about it as it may instill, but it's on another timeline. It's on
Okay.
another timeline. Don't worry. Hey.
So But it is okay to say yes, only if it's for the highest and best good of all.
Mhm.
Well, right?
Normally, what they're telling me is that normally, if you keep on absorbing this light language, this is the thing, is that if you couldn't defend yourself, you're just say block, block. That's it. But if you can transmute this light language, then you absorb it regardless, and it's beneficial, even though there's something in it. And it's more advanced skill when you transmute everything around you, everything you're exposed to, which is covered on the things that we are building. So technically, I'll answer that later, but me and Katie are building courses to accelerate people, which is what we learned, what we experienced through hardship, through deaths, in
Near-death
other
experiences.
timelines, and experiences, and those low vibrational entities that spooks everyone. We are now creating courses that we may offer soon. Okay, remove the plug. So but yeah, if you have a specific or custom what do you call this, request, or because everyone have different situations, and it's not a one thing, clear everything, right? Moses, divide the sea. It's not like that. So I recommend Katie because she really digs into the root of it, and she really nails it where it happens, so it doesn't reflourishes again. So I like that on how she does the client work. So the next one is that, how do you like let's see. So what is timeline jumping? So I think I already told about timeline jumping. So your actions, thoughts, beliefs, words dictates on how you timeline jump. I could say I'm pure light, but when I talk to someone's like, F you, F this, F that, screw this, I hate this, I don't have this, how can I do that? So just by that alone, you will pick up the lack mentality. It's like an energy. You say, you need this, but by the time it comes to you, you negate it. So it's like a ping pong of energy that you negated that. Oh, you're racing?
Sorry, I'm signing.
Oh, I thought you're racing.
Sorry, I'll try to keep my hand out of the screen. This celestial being just kind of popped up right here, and I'm like, what do you want? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So timeline jumping is technically changing majority what you can control. It's like your thoughts, your beliefs, your words, your everything. It's like, because once you keep on holding on to those beliefs, you are anchoring on that timeline and you couldn't ascend. Like I said, everything that you hold on to into this one, you won't be able to carry it on the other one. Let's say you want to go to the singer you, but on this timeline you value your sleep and you want to sleep more. So when you suddenly watch Katie and me host these videos and everything, then suddenly you learn, oh, how about I put 1 hour a day, then I wake up and I will start practice singing. Now your vibrational state starts climbing, aligning slowly, slowly, slowly with that timeline where you chose to be a singer per se. So like I said, words, thoughts, beliefs, even your actions aligns you to that timeline, but you have to pick what you want. When you started asking for which one is the best timeline, they will give you a lot of options, so you don't have to go to one part. But sorry, I got so you will get multiple options, but when you get these options, you can free pick everything, anything, and it doesn't have to be. I have to be a singer per se, and I need to be a healer per se, because all of us can contribute with a healing in our own way. So when you jump timelines, you have to align yourself where you want to be and be specific on what you want to do. But if you're not sure, then you will just be in the neutral zone and you won't be able to move anywhere. So I hope I answered that one a little bit. I think it's any questions so far, or are we still? Yep, there you go.
I think you should check out Lisa's most recent comment, because I asked her how she uses her timekeeping light language in her work, and she explained a situation, and maybe you can, I think you can offer some insight on how she can work with that situation more, or like work with that light language in that situation. That will help, if that makes sense. So Lisa said, I need to work with it more. One example was during a call the other day. It wasn't supposed to be a healing, but the person was expressing that a belief kept coming back no matter what she did. So I asked my guides what to do. They told me that it was possible to complete the healing in a shorter time by using that particular light language. So is there any advice you can offer Lisa that can, assist her in working with it more efficiently, in that aspect, I suppose?
When you do light language, you can heal them energetically. But like I said, you have to work on their mentality as well. So you have to coach as well, because let's say I see a person who doesn't believe in holistic energies and everything, then started healing them until they have a big, unless you can, or unless you're a medium that who can hold nuggets of information that will make them believe right off the hop, then you can have that as a base. But the problem is some of us not. So when you heal someone and you're not a medium, you should back it up with support, like on how to coach. Like if I heal this person and his mentality is still going back to that victim mentality, you did handle the root, but his mentality keeps him going back to that problem. That means now you have to fix his mentality or his belief. So, and offer him the perception of multiple paths, not just one or two. Just show him that there's more paths into it, and just call to action. Try this in a day. Try this different option in a day, or another option. Then you will probably get a different result. Oh, right.
So then in Lisa's situation, and her guide saying she can complete the healing in a short amount of time by using her particular light language, or I guess anyone else's. So then, based on your explanation, would she use her light language to, I guess, accelerate the integration time of the healing paired with what you just advised?
I probably would do an intention that I will heal the person, accelerate the healing, and help him or he or she see where you're coming from and where she needs to be or what she needs to see. And that will cover at least the light language part, because you're now showing her through your light language more multiple paths, and if she can see it from her mind's eye, then the more she can like imagine or go to that point without further coaching per se. So you can put that into your intention that it's included with your light language, not just by healing her. So it's like putting a band-aid, but you still monitor it. So technically you put that all into your light language and you deliver it. So it's more like a complete package than saying heal. There you go, but there's no band-aid. It get infection. So something like that. So you create more like a doctor approach or like a mechanic that you have like checking from time to time that are they okay or something like that. Like, but don't overburn that. I need to check you every week. Probably within 3 days, how are you feeling? And if it's all good, all done, then move on because there's more out there that they need your help. Something like that. So I hope that answered your question.
It answered it for me. I'm not sure about
Yeah.
Lisa.
Okay.
I'm waiting for her to
Okay.
respond.
So just a
Um,
few more. Oh, go ahead.
Earlier when I was doing light language and you thought I was waving my hand, that was an Atlantean. And so if you want to fit that into your schedule today, it's up to you.
We're almost there, but yeah, we will put it on the activation end. So
Pick a number.
so let's start with some tips on timeline jumping. Like I said before, when you are getting the test right now, you're aware, you're always faced with a cliff. It's that hard. And I understand it's gonna be that hard, and your brain will always focus on the one thing that is the worst case scenario. But I promise you, the other things are 99 better than the one thing that you're focusing on. And when I say focusing on, you're focusing on it, all your energies on it. Therefore, it manifests. So don't focus on it, right? When you want to manifest something, you focus on it. So your energy is pinpointed. So focus on something else now. And but when you get it, sometimes, let's say you have a karmic husband, karmic work. It doesn't mean I quit, gone, divorce, gone. No, not like that. Sometimes it's just a change of mentality that shifts it. Now, I'm telling you, when you timeline shift, you have to be compassionate to everyone, right? Because their soul contracts may be different on this timeline and to that timeline. So if sometimes when you go on another timeline and this is your enemy, they may be your best friend on this timeline and they will help you. And so you have to remove all those labels and stop judging people around you, because once you do that, you jump timeline again, because now you're not judging and you're not anchoring to that timeline. Oh, in this timeline, all Asians are this, or in this timeline, all blacks are this, or in this timeline, all white are this. You anchor to that timeline. More worse, you go to that lower timeline and all Asians, black and whites in your community starting acting what you want. They manifested on your beliefs, on your thoughts. Word of caution. Words, thoughts, beliefs, actions dictates your reality. Your universe reflects you. You say, I don't have money. Okay, universe says, okay, no money, I'll take it. That's it. So one thing about money, money is a currency. It's meant to flow. And people say, oh, I can't buy that. I don't have money. That's a negative thinking. It pulls your abundance away. Shift your perception to more positive, like, I will put it into my important parts first, but I will afford you as long as I can get it. So when you are in the holistic part, like this psychic part of this industry, treat money as not evil. It's like, I'm a doctor. I can cure anyone for free, but I need to live as well. But the same thing with your gifts. You are gifted or have acquired skills to heal, but you have to love yourself to heal more people. Now, flip it again. Talk to money, to any form of money or abundance and health, and say this: please come to me or help me so that I can make more or access more modality so I can access more people. You see, it's more a positive serving approach, because if you say money for profit, that's for self. So, but if you turn that into a different concept in a more positive way, money will give you opportunity, abundance in everything else. Like you go to one shop and, oh, out of nothing, we have a $25 gift card for you. Or suddenly you go to some shop and it's like, I'm too lazy to count this. I just give you to $1. That happened to me multiple times. Like I was expecting to pay $30 for something and they said just $1. I was like, so see, abundance comes in many different forms. Now, how can you start? Because he said, yeah, I think about it, I understand it, but most likely I was like, you will be like, I'll do that tomorrow. I'm too tired today. No. Every day, plant seeds, no matter how big, how small. Plant seeds. Do something, right? What you should do to tomorrow, today, and try to put integrity and fulfill it. By the time 1 month, 2 months, it's harvesting time. As long as you keep on planting seed, you harvest every day after that. That's how abundance comes in like a flood. Now you go. There you go. There's one big tip there. You plant every single day. Put an effort, balance your time. And there's more about this on how to do on the courses we're building. So these are bits and pieces on what you can do, small ways. And one analogy that will support this is that you see, like if you pray, you ask the universe, and when you meditate, you listen, right? So when you pray, I want to be rich, or I want to travel, or I want something like this, like that, the universe will say yes. You'll probably say, I want to be rich. The universe say, here's the train full of money. There you go. But you're on a bus stop waiting for a train and there's no tracks. Will it come? No. So what will happen? What normally should be done is that, can you help me go to this timeline, or I want to be financially freedom, or I want to be in this state. And universe will say, here it is. It's here now. But how can you access it? Planting seeds. Do something every day for that the you who are living in that state is aligned. Now, when you started planting seeds, you're building tracks for that train for you to come. And when the train comes, it never ends, because you keep on planting seeds. You keep on planting seeds to build that track. So don't just understand it. Yeah, it's all perception. It's all thinking. It's all manifestation. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to share what Rusty had said in the Zoom chat, and it's quite beautiful. She said, I heard or felt in my heart that I was told the reason why I lost 100 years, she had lost 100 years in a timeline, is because it's a chance for me to be able to get on track with the correct timeline for where I am wanting to go. If I didn't, then I wouldn't be in the mindset that I am now. I wouldn't have met you guys, and I wouldn't be in a peaceful state. So
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you,
an honor,
Ascension.
and I'm thankful that we are creating ripples, no matter how small, how big, and we're thankful. And even though, remember, even you're healing one person, that's like a drop in the ocean, but the ripples is endless. So don't just focus on, I need to help millions of people, or just focus on what you can right now. And that is, let's say, yeah, hold on. So Ruthie told me about traumas, right? I have a good analogy for trauma. Imagine trauma as hot boiling water. You touch it, you're like, ouch. But imagine yourself as a potato. If you drop it in the boiling water, it softens you, it weakens you. But what if you can be just like an egg? If it drops you, it hardens you, it makes you stronger. You learn from it, right? So when you do that, you have to perceive every problem right now in here, that it is for you to learn something. And if you keep on neglecting it, sometimes they become higher level until they become an axe and they cut you in the butt. So sorry about the language, but yeah, I had those times, and I think Katie have those one. Then they just and when you start neglecting your lessons, right? So
Yes, and you don't want to neglect your lessons and your tests because they will just return, they will
leveling up.
repeat, and they will be harder to pass. So
Mhm.
try your best not to resist, understand when you're given clues, and follow the breadcrumb trails to pass your tests.
Mhm. So one more thing is that when they say surrender, because now you ask guidance, you ask for help, then you let them work their way, but you start conflicting actions, or like you're not allowing them to do their job, their miracles, right? For their lessons, for you to align to the timeline. And they said, come on, surrender, let it be. When they say surrender, it's, let me do a correction now. Monkey noise 0. If it came up again, I'm just turning it off again. So when they say surrender, it is to stop trying to control what you cannot control. Because if you keep on thinking, keep on focusing on things you can control, you lose control on things you can control. And what things you can control? Everything in your body right now. Thoughts, words, everything. You see a problem in front of you, you have a choice. Right off the hop, you can pick to ignore it, neutral, but that's not the best. It will come again, and you'll probably pick the same thing again, but those are even lessons. But there's no wrong answers in here. It's just longer or shorter lessons. You choose to finish it up, then just do the right thing, which aligned for you. Then you're done with it. You go to the next lesson, or what they call next cycle. And when you see that, you will see a lot of 999s, and you will see like end of cycle 999. And when you complete it, 1010. And when you're starting a new cycle, you'll see a lot of 111s. And do you want me to talk about that? Okay. They say angel numbers are a basic form of angelic communication or guides. And the one thing that can help you is that when you see an angel number, write it down. And what were you thinking? It's like, let's say I was thinking, maybe I should start a course that will accelerate people and can cover multiple payment methods with Katie so that we can send people and accelerate them. Then I will see a 222. Okay, that's right. That's what they said. Then I said, what if I can do this? Then it's like, not really, I didn't thought about it. Then I see a 333. It's like saying I technically memorized it because they normally give it to me. Then I was like, be more imaginative. Or when I thought of something, maybe I should do this. Then I see a 333. That's them saying, do it now. So, so something like that. Or like 444. There's like a miracle happening. 5, good change are coming. 666, refocus. Oh,
And I like to add something I learned about angel numbers. With me, it's depending on the situation, of course. Like
mhm,
for me, I found that if I was seeing angel numbers at an alarming rate in 1 or 2 days in rapid succession, it turned out to be actually star coordinates.
mhm,
And so, I mean, I know we see them repetitively, but that doesn't mean they get plugged in that order. So I found out that if you just tell your third eye, please download all angel numbers that I have seen recently and translate them into star coordinates.
mhm.
It scrambles the numbers and you know, it knows exactly how to rearrange them to become star coordinates. And then I'd ask my third eye to take me to the star coordinates. Well, this was before I had a Stargate. And then I went to, I think my first one was, I went to Orion's Belt, which is really fantastic. And so that's your guides' way, loopholing around laws of intervention and trying to tell you to go places where you need to go without really telling you. You know, it's a little secret loophole they have. But if you try this and your third eye doesn't take you anywhere, chances are you receive star coordinates from multiple locations. So in that case, you would ask, you know, third eye, please take me to the first set of star coordinates that I need to go to at this time, and then go from there.
So let's do a couple more a little bit lessons. Then we will do the, I'm not gonna call it activation, but we'll put that for later. So someone asked me, I think it's Rudy, about channeling. So how do you channel? Channel is technically you're downloading what they're saying, or technically you're talking to them, you as a medium, or not really a medium, more like a antenna. You're like a speaker per se, Bluetooth speaker. They're the one sending to you, right? That's channeling. Now, when I advise people to say, keep on inviting your guides until you can telepathically talk to them, it's because angelic realms sometimes they require daily invitation, consent, and permission to guide you or everything, especially the angelic realms. They require daily invitation or all sorts to like intervene, guidance, and everything. But for my higher selves, I just ask them like, "Good morning, hey, how's it doing?" and everything, right? So when you're accessing angelic realms, they are like more strict with the rules sometimes. Some of them, sometimes, not all, but some. So until you can telepathically talk to them, then you have to keep on inviting them so that they manifest in your reality. Or there are more other ways to do that in automatically. But until right now, I still call for them every day because I just want to like continue the system. But that does not apply to everyone. So take what resonates, leave the rest if it doesn't. So let me explain what is telepathy and its mechanics. Telepathy is like you hear the voice or feelings of other people or other entities. So let me explain that on a perspective of an astral walker. When you astral and you sit up from your body, you will hear a low vibrating hum, technically like that. And that is your body, this one, your vessel vibrating, because that's why you're like in a 3D realm and this is a 3D body, therefore low vibration. Now, when you start going through this journey, your body increases vibration because, like I said, your memories, your thoughts, and everything doesn't store in your brain. It's stored on your soul, and your emotions, your thoughts are in your energetic field, and they are very high frequency and high vibration. That's why they create your reality, but your body isn't. So all your body can do is touch everything which is of the same vibration, experience of the same vibration, but your thoughts and emotions are on a different plane. They're energetical in form or etheric. Now, once you start this ascension process, your body starts to vibrate higher. That's why you feel the vibrations in your body. That's why you get DNA upgrading, DNA changing, your crystalling your body and everything. And when your body starts vibrating, or your brain as well, it's physical, start vibrating at a pace where it can vibrate at the same time as the thoughts. Same frequency and vibration, you start hearing or start feeling the feeling of the others. And that's when you start telepathy, because now your body is vibrating at a state that they can access other frequency and vibrations in etheric form. And you will notice, especially if you're an astral walker, because once you do a first pop on your body, you will feel it, that your body is a low vibrational thing. But when you go ascend, your body is more lighter and you can pop off your body very quicker, because it's easier, because your etheric body is now not struggling to go out of your low vibrational vessel when you do astral walks. So that's one key thing of telepathy. So as you go ascend, your vibration go higher. Now you can talk more deeper with your guides. So that's why you have to keep on healing, releasing, and everything. So, there you go.
Wait,
So,
wait, wait. It's
Huh?
333.
There you go.
It's-
You are supported. That's what is.
I was gonna ask. Okay, I'm just gonna rewind that because that was so cute, by the way, on the replay.
I'm sorry, you guys.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. I'm happy to hear your voice. With telepathy, we can use visions as well, right?
Mhm.
And so, when you had transferred, what was it, memories about your higher selves, or
Mhm.
visions or images? Yeah, that was part of the telepathy, part of your telepathy gifts too, is sending that kind of visions or data, which is really neat.
And that's why you have to meditate, so that, or do healing and everything, so that your body start vibrating at a point that it can access those frequencies and energy planes. Like, again, aligning. So you have to do your work before you align. You don't do your work. It's like hitting the same nail with the same angle and expecting this different result. That's insanity. So
I like
don't
your examples.
so so, so don't bother now. Hopefully that's the end of the course. Before we proceed on something else, is there any other question for now?
I don't see any in the chats.
I hope your brains are not yet twisted with the timelines and dimensions. So
Rusty will probably be like, oh, my head's vibrating again.
oh boy, but it will vibrate with this one. Now, the next one will be a skill I called ascend. Technically, that's what it means. It will ascend you. And I put the intention that it will not have so much burden on your body, but I bet it will. Because if you especially didn't have work on your body, you will feel it.
So that's ascension symptoms too, right?
Yeah, ascension symptoms, body aches and everything. Like Katie said, when you are connecting with your higher selves, embodying and everything. So it's a laundry list, but I can say that it's for your highest best good. Part of it also is removes implants and everything, none of Goa, to stop you from ascending. And this was developed with the Arcturian team and other galactics. And I set the intention that it will kick in probably 10 minutes after the video you want me right now. I hope.
Can we be doing regular things, or do we have to be lying down for it? Or
I hope you're not driving.
okay.
If you are driving or doing something which will put you in danger, it will quickly trigger when you're at safe to be triggered. Set intention. I will be incorporating all time magic, time activations. It activates. I have to explain, so I get your consents. Hold on. Calling your higher self's consent. All confirmed. What am I missing? I'm applying it to all of you. I mean, all versions of you in all planes of existence, timeline dimension. So you may, I hope it's not that bad. So if you consent for this ascension, just say yes, only for the highest best good of all. You don't have to say it, just say it on your mind and send. Done. So I may not know when it will kick in, but no, that's how that's how me and Katie normally do our spells, but she normally have to lengthen it for the audience. But normally we just when we just me and Katie are doing some rescue operations, we're just like done. Or like
I love it.
for like form a portal. Done. Or like kick everyone in a different dimension. Replay. Sweep. Expand. Clear. Done.
Yeah.
That's how we do it technically, but
It becomes that fast once you all get proficient at
Yeah,
it as well.
because especially if you're under galactic federations and you're like sent to missions, so you have to be that proficient. So
Oh, Lawrence.
Yep.
Lisa just added a comment. She said, "Oh my gosh, I need to tell you guys that Sonora, that angelic tree, said she can also help with implants." That's wonderful. Lisa, if you can just add a little bit more details, if she gives any, like exactly how, like probably connecting her, the roots to whoever, and then just setting an intention and sending that blue energy in, maybe a little more specifics would be a little helpful, but thanks for adding that. Just love Sonora.
I will set the intention that if it's needed, it will be applicable for those who will accept this ascension skill. Timeless, it's boundless. Wherever, when this is viewed 5 years from now, the set intention is there. Done. And I hope you get the most out of it. And let me see. So what we discuss right now, we have just discussed right now. That's why I called it navigating 5D, because me and Kate is accessing beyond that 24D, I guess, more than that. I cannot say the number. And one example, we're building courses so that it will accelerate people. Two of my courses this is part 0.01 because it's more broader. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And what I just told you guys is just a fraction of the experience that I have to go through every day, even right now, so that they solidify the lessons, and it will compress your time from probably you have to learn this for 5 years and you got to learn it for 2 months. Depends on how eager you are, because you have to do your work as well, right? You can just learn everything and it floods you, you forget it, you don't do it. But there are ways to accelerate it, and they expose it to me on how to do it. And we compress it. Then that's one of the courses that I created, which is navigating 5D and beyond, technically beyond. Like probably by the end of that course, you will access up to 24D at least. The next one is the second course, like, I'm psychic now. What's next? So that will be putting you in a step where you want to be, where you can use your gifts, and how to do this or this with a full blown, like how you construct it and everything, and have the proper etheric tools and guides and higher selves, like how Katie creates her attunements with other gods and these energies. Same thing, but we will package it on in one point that me and Katie will package it so that it's one big shot there, and you can access it without even trying to do single ones, or especially it's more compact, that it's more, we call this more better. It helps. I can't say it by words.
Like more advanced or
Technically,
innovative?
it's more advanced, and it will help you manifest abundance in your reality. And when you have these skills, you can just automate things, and you can just be walking down and you're collecting brownie points. One last plug for me is I have an album called Donation, Energetic Donation. And I call this skill CD, Convert Donate. And it's more than that. I learned part of it from Katie, and it's convert the energies to beneficial, absorb it, or reflect it, but turn it to something that they really need for their highest best good, or donate it. Let's say someone gets angry at you. Anger is emotion, high energy. It goes to you. Sometimes you absorb it and you process it. Now you're angry too. But when you catch it, you say CD. It gets converted, you absorb it, and you're happy. You can say convert to my abundance per se. But when I say donate, I have like an album in my public album in my profile, and it either gets donated for the people who's affected by war or affected by hunger, addiction, and it creates a train track for them to get that abundance so that it helps them. It's a free brownie because you don't need to do anything, but you have to give energy. I don't care if it's negative energy because it transmutes it, technical, or you can convert it. I give my 1 second of my energy every day. It's a free brownie points. And I will teach more about getting free brownie points every day on the course later on. But I think Katie also have a course on her own.
Mm-hmm. Just really quick, I'm working on launching I'm going away from doing my current business. I just do, private one-on-one sessions for whatever it is that you need. But I'm going to create another business called 144K Lightworkers Academy. It's designed to activate and mentor lightworkers and all the 12 types or whatever ones that you resonate with. And kind of like as we've been doing here, just getting a bunch of activations, training, learning from these new celestial beings that we've helped, new activations, etc., how to use them, how to tap into and find out what your spiritual gifts are, and best practices, how to effectively use them so that you can successfully complete your missions in a shorter amount of time and with less frustration. It also goes over best practices as far as, how to best work with guides, working around the laws of the universe, things you cannot do, loopholes. And so there's more to it, but that's coming as well. And there will be a group mentorship with an option to do personal mentorship as well.
Yeah. So I think if there's any question, we can answer it now.
those celestial time travelers are like, are you gonna do the time crystal thing?
Oh,
They've been kind of waiting.
okay.
They're like, Lawrence.
Summoning time crystal. If you consent connects with this time crystal that I'm holding, it's a time crystal that I got from Kitty's activation before, and it accesses timelines, dimension, and everything in that specific region. It helps you navigate through it. And if you connect with it, just say yes, only for the highest best good of all. The intent is only to download whatever codes or activations that you need right now. And if you consent, just say connect and it will go on its own. Connecting Atlantean timelines, Lemurians, all other aspects, timelines, and everything that needs to be accessed. Funneling codes. Done.
What do these celestial time travelers come from, and do they want to give messages, I wonder?
To me or you?
To you.
Oh,
You're now channeling them. I'm like, I'm just passing you on to Lawrence.
no.
So maybe you can find out where they're from, why they're here, if they have any messages, why they were pushing for you to use the time crystal, to gift them the time crystal.
Let me ask what they want. Already thought that. They're galactics. Technically, the future us. Not so far off future. You want me to explain that one? Okay. So some of them are galactics. Yes, some of them are timekeepers. It's part of their on that dimension. Your future selves can be also, or higher dimensional selves are galactics. The technically future, it's still the now as well. And they're not so far off future because when you DNA shift, some of them, or isn't that prophecy? It's safe. Because I don't want to say prophetic. It's against the law of Akashic, right? So I'm just trying to ask it. Oh, what's that?
Lisa asks if you can ask them, the celestial galactics, you said, can you ask if they are the same that are contacting or coming through for me? She calls them timekeepers.
They said yes.
Yeah, Lisa. So,
but there's a band group of them, so it's different for everyone, but it's part of them. Part of them.
it's a bad group of them.
Band. Sorry, band. Like more like a band of brothers. So, or like a group of people or something like that.
And just in case for those people who can't really see their visions quite yet, to you, what do they appear like? What are their features or appearance?
Galactic. That's why I said galactic, because they look like galactics, like how you see the Federation. They mean
no, yeah, but not everybody knows what that is.
Oh, okay.
Like if you could describe their physical,
it's
if they're physical form, like do they have hair? What's their skin color? Maybe if they're just light, perhaps.
Some of them have skin color, some of them are naked, but you don't have to be bothered with it. There's no genitalia, and it's a mix.
Yeah.
More like it's different per dimension. If you see them, they are different per dimension, especially if the higher them is like more of light beings, and the more lower timekeepers are more like fleshy still or dimensional. You can even see the jumpsuit, different colors. They are all sorts, and they're not just humanoids. It could be something else. And There, yeah, there's mantis as well there.
Is there any chance they gifted the audience anything through the time crystal? Like they included it with that download that you pulled in?
I told them to put in everything that they need to be, but they're handing me a time capsule right now.
A time
Hmm.
capsule?
I'm just asking what is it for. It's a time release. This guy's
Oh.
like, I'm giving you something, but it's a time release. When you're ready, it will activate. Weird.
What's a
But
time release?
I got several of those before, but time release is like it's like how you put fertilizers on a tree. It releases slowly until it's gone. So technically, one sample is I got something like a book from the angelic realms that it releases skills, and it's a time release. When you're ready, the release will, the skill you will learn. Technically, it's like if your light quotient is, let's say you have light quotient of 1 to 10 and you're in 1. When you go 2, you get to achieve another skill. 3, you get another skill. So it's more like a growth type skill. So it's like a group activation, but you get it as soon as you grow. It depends on your stage. So that's what I
Okay.
call time release, because they like the
Yeah,
term.
it reminds me of like, if you ever took those pills, those medicines that it says extended release, so
Yeah,
it releases throughout the whole day,
yeah.
right? So it's kind of like that, but for time and whatever's in that capsule, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense.
So some of you may probably get half of it. They're saying like activate half of it immediately, because depends on your affinity with time magic and time dimensional space. And some you may get trickling effect. Depends on how prepared you are. Who knows? Because you might go somewhere and start rippling the time space, and we have to fix it. And me and Katie will probably lose some sleep because we have to fix it.
Can you ask if we have permission to form a sacred energetic bond with them if we want them to be our guides?
They said energetic bond is fine, don't have to be guide. But if you,
Okay.
yeah,
You can still form
when
a sacred energetic bond with them then?
yeah, because they're like, you can just like a friend, like
Sorry.
there you go.
I get excited.
They said when, oh, okay. They said when you form an energetic bond, you don't have to be assigning them into guides. They said that's another sacred part. I think
Okay.
They said Katie knows about it, that you can assign anyone to your guides, but be very careful, because you have to pick your guides that will help you in your transmission, and sometimes you have to release some guides that is not already aligned, so sometimes you have to refresh that. Not
Right.
too often, not too often, because sometimes temporary guides come and go, so those are like, but when you assign, you have to release. So be careful when you assign them as your guides. Energetic bonds already giving them access to you, and to
Right.
energetically talk to you or
Right.
something.
So when I guide people, and especially during my lives, I say, if these beings come in, I say, if you want to give them permission to form a sacred energetic bond with you to serve as your guide. I think I've said even without those words, to serve as your guide, right? Only for the highest best good of all. In that phrase, it is my understanding, and it doesn't have to be yours, but when I say that it's only for the highest and best good of all, right? So that implies automatically that whatever it is that they teach you is for the highest and best good of all. But not only that, it is also understood that, teaching you whatever you need to know at the present time is for the highest and best good of all. So if they have nothing else to teach you, then it's like automatic exit, you know. They don't usually tell you if they're leaving, but they'll come back and visit.
Yeah. But that's just the one that they are telling me. But it could be different for everyone. Depends on how deep or your relationship and how you revoke. It's like right now, if you call onto your guides and just say, I would like everyone who is my guide to is only aligned to my highest best goods to be connected with me, then connect, right? But if you or if any other entity is connected with me which is not aligned to my highest best good, then I revoke every consent, every invitation that I release, knowing or unknowing that I did, and get out of my space. So technically you're removing access for none of Goa or only for the highest good entities that you accidentally accepted or consented through others, that suddenly it's biting you back with your abundance or what's ever happening in your life, right? So just a
And
quick note.
you will find that, you know, you will resonate with using different words. You know, as I like to use the words sacred energetic bond, because the word sacred implies that it's holy and that nothing that is any short of that or divine cannot even form the bond with you, even if they try. Not trickster, not dark entity. And, you know, Lawrence has a different way of saying it. And we all will, because we want to add layers of protection to ensure that, you know, whatever it is that we're authorizing this bond to happen for is not going to be something that can compromise us.
So
And so, yeah, you can choose your own words.
So technically that's part of the course that this course number 2 that me and Katie are building. And it's this safety measures on, and it's not you have to follow how me and Katie build it. It's just giving you the direction on how to create your system per se. And once you have that system, everything is more flawless, more easier, because it took Katie and me like what, 1-2 years to start learning all of this through experience. So it's more like a compressed type, technically. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, I had to go through rapid testing and a very fast learning curve because I woke up late. I was sabotaged. So let's just say nonstop learning for me. That was really fun. Yeah.
Oh boy, but yeah. But is there any more questions before we end the session?
I mentioned earlier Atlantean came through. I don't know if you want to talk to it or not, but or you know, ask why it's here.
You have something in them? They're saying no to me.
They're doing something to me. Why aren't you telling me? Of course, Lawrence, they can't tell you the laws of intervention. You're gonna need to find out on your own.
I'll do that later.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna come through vague like that, what do you expect? Take a number, then you'll have to wait. Yeah. By the way, you don't have to speak all proper and spiritual. I do talk smack to the guides sometimes and whatever celestial beings, because you know you have to set the tone on how you want to be worked with too, right? So I'm like, don't be coming in with that vague stuff, okay? Come back when you got more information.
Yeah. Yeah, you have your free choice, free will, but it just sometimes make the lesson longer. So
yeah. There's no more questions in either of the chats. So
so thank you for attending this session, and I hope to see you soon again. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Lawrence. We love
Thank
you
you.
so much and we value all of your guidance and support. So
Thank you.
grateful.
Have a good night.